Welcome to end of day update. Starting with Bitcoin, you can see gave us a green dot yesterday. Today is closed, and you can see now this daily candle is above all moving averages. You can see it's above 20 SMA, 10 MA, and 50 SMA, 50 EMA, and 200 EMA. Okay, now the only thing which is left is this 200 SMA, but that doesn't matter anymore because it looks very bullish. This candle here, this entire candle here is almost 4% pump, and the main thing is, look what happened. We got a green dot, we got a buy dot on RSI, and also PPO. It never went under green line, never went under red line, so it's holding it very nicely, so which is a very good sign. So Bitcoin is looking very bullish, and I think it's heading towards this next resistance of 32k. Okay, everything is good, and from here Bitcoin can easily go around 16-17%. So just hold Bitcoin is just getting ready for a massive bounce. You can see this consolidation starting mid of August to now, almost more than a month consolidation, and now it gathered all the energy, and I think it's getting ready to go and blast to this 32k resistance. Ethereum is even stronger, and you can see if on Ethereum we got a green dot yesterday on Wednesday, and you can see even on Ethereum this is PPO, green line is above red line, it never crossed below red line. So you can see Ethereum is also looking very bullish, and this is also a massive candle, and this candle is itself was almost 4.5% candle. Okay, now Ethereum is now facing some resistance on this 50 SMA and 50 EMA, yellow and red line, but we have green dot, and we have everything is telling me that it should be able to break. Okay, you can see this is like a 1-to-1 pattern. So what I mean by that is, you can see if I draw a path, you can see is 1 A B C, so it has to break this high, previous high, and if it breaks, it's gonna be like a nice bottom forming pattern, and we are heading higher. All right, so that's what I'm expecting on Ethereum. All right, so everything is looking good on crypto. So let's move to S&P 500, and let's go with NDX chart, Nasdaq. And I want to start with the weekly chart, and I want to bring another indicator on. So let's go to weekly chart. It's always a good time to take a step back and see how things are going. And you can see this famous green and red lines I was telling you before. You can see what happened today. Actually, we closed this gap, so we're going to delete this. So you can see on weekly chart, we now came between these two boxes, green and red line, and we're about to make a bottom. So there are two scenarios on Nasdaq. So if I go to daily chart, you can see the first scenario, which I don't prefer, is this gap will fill. So 14,969, this gap will fill. If it make a lower low, and when that happens, there will be divergence on PPO and RSI, and then it goes higher. The scenario I prefer is something like this. We make a new high, we make a higher low, and then we go higher. All right, so this is a scenario I prefer, but you got to be ready for both scenario. But just remember, no matter how we go, the end result will be new highs. All right, so that's what I'm expecting. All right, so now once that is gone, so let's quickly look at triple Qs, those levels. So those levels on triple Q, so the gap is closed today. I can show you on 1 hour chart what gap I was talking about. So today, and let me hide this indicator, so it gets a bit easier. So you can see this gap here. This was created on Monday. We gapped down, and today we closed the gap. Okay, so gaps always get closed, and you can see what was happening. We were making new lows with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. So now we're trying to break out, and I think the next target is this gap fill 364. So if I go to daily chart, same thing here. This is my preferred scenario, which I showed you before. Fill this gap, make a higher low, and go higher. But just be careful that it could be possible out of filling this gap, we could make a lower low and then go higher. Okay, but regardless of which way we go, the end result, I'm looking for new all-time high compared to previous high of 408. So I think we're getting ready for a pump. Okay, so it's a very good time to go long. As I was telling you a couple of days ago, buy these other dips to buy. You don't want to buy when we are already pumping and about to get a dip. Okay, you want to buy now. All right, so that's on triple Qs. And let's quickly look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones also same thing. I'm looking for this gap to fill, higher low, and go higher. IWM was also pretty good. Actually, it filled this gap. So let's go to 1 hour to one. Oh yeah, so we can delete this. You can see how nicely gaps are filled. On next resistance is around here. Tomorrow is PPI, so let's see, maybe we'll get some bullish news and we make a breakout and fill these gaps. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on IWM as well. Okay, so let's quickly look at gold. Gold, now you can see very nicely fix this, fill this gap at 1870. So I can delete this now. So I was telling you, if you guys are watching my video, I was telling you this is what I was looking to buy here. So this is where you should be looking to buy. Now I think we're getting close to the bottom forming phase. This gap is filled and there's a lot of support where it is right now. You can see this whole area on gold. You can see all this here is a lot of support. I do have divergence on PPO, so slight divergence on PPO. Let me show you with the arrow. So you can see PPO is making high low, but RSI I don't have any divergence. Okay, and let's go to 1 hour chart, see if we see anything else. You can see 1 hour chart, we made a new low with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. So that means which is good, but we still need to wait for a breakout. And for that, what you can do is you can draw a trend line like this, and you just wait for this to break up this trend line. Whenever that breaks, that's your buy signal. All right, okay, so that's on gold. And on silver, let's see, the silver is also, this looks like a fake out stop loss move, and now it's trying to recover. So if silver recovers back on this trend line, that's going to be very bullish. Natural gas, another pump, almost getting close to, it closed $3 mark. And let me show natural gas futures. And you can also see it's also making a nice move, and again going back here, holding this trend line very nicely. This is our bottom is already formed, so just consolidating, taking its time before the breakouts. You can see this direct move down, it can go direct move up. All right, crude oil basically rejected from where it should, and now again in this resistance zone. So if it cannot break out here, it might come back all the way down here to find support before going higher. But this is not the time to buy. This is the time to take profits on crude oil. Dollar also now getting rejected. You can see there was some divergence. If I go on 1 hour chart, you can see we're making higher lows with lower momentum on PPO and RSI. So dollar can get rejected here, and probably looking for a low. That will be very good for Bitcoin and gold and stock market. Sorry guys. Okay. Let's look at some tech stock. Apple forming a bottom. This gap is still not filled around 166. So we'll see if he wants to come back, fill this gap, and then go higher. But long term, we are looking to go higher. All right. Tesla also back on this trend line. Very nice move today. It was down almost 1% and then recovered very nicely. So looking good. Everything looking good. Microsoft also in this massive buy zone. And actually, I'm going to delete this trend line. It's not relevant anymore. So Microsoft is on this buy zone. And let's bring in moving averages, see if you can find any other information. And it's still far away from these moving averages, so I think it can very likely bounce. Google nicely bounce above this 50 SMA red line, and now facing resistance on 20 MA and green line, which is 10 moving average. Let me hide this so it's a bit clear. Okay, so here, so Google still did not fill this gap, but it's also trying to go back on this trend line. Meta, Facebook holding this. You can see right on the support, wick below it yesterday, and I think it's getting ready to move to fill these gaps. Amazon, massive, it was down heavily in the morning, but then it recovered flat, which is good news. So I'm looking for the above gap to fill, then maybe come back down. It all depends on how S&P 500 does it. Netflix also looking for, I think it's almost ready for a bottom, and I can show you, you can see RSI slight divergence, but if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening, already building higher momentum. So I think Netflix is getting ready for an explosive move. It can happen anytime. Snowflake, you can see this whole reversal was down almost 4% and then recovered close almost 2.5%. This is like in 1 day 7.5% move. And this could be a bottom forming candle here. You can see what happened here, bottom form, boom, and something like that is happening here. So let's see if we now get a massive move up. NVDA also consolidating, getting ready for a pump, and AMD massive move, closed this gap. So you can delete this, and above all this support line. Okay, so this was a fake out trap, and now it's higher, so it's getting ready. Let's see if we can go above this trend line. That will be very bullish. Toronto Stock Exchange, a good recovery, but still multiple gaps to be filled, so a lot of way to go. Hang Seng Index still struggling to go above this trend line, so just consolidating. Bonds, Bonds also made a nice recovery. This could be right now. I don't have any divergence on RSI, divergence on PPO. So let's see if bottoms here and then goes higher. Copper, massive move. Copper almost 2% up from the demand zone, buy zone. So it's looking good. So you should have looked to buy here. I was telling everybody, all my subscribers, this is the area you want to buy. Hopefully you bought it. Palladium also same thing, came to the buy zone, massive move up, and this is where you want to buy in this box, and now it's getting ready for a pump. Wheat, bullish falling wedge, broke out, and now backtesting. Again, wheat like other metals, this is a green, but it's also near a very high demand zone, so could be forming a bottom here. So these are the areas you want to accumulate wheat. It's just testing patience, but looking okay. Corn was up 0.6%. Also, this is higher momentum on PP and RSI, probably trying to make bottom before it moves up. Soybeans also in this range, which is right in the demand zone. So let's see if soybean can get a bid here before it goes higher. And sugar also you can see here. Now I don't know if it's going to come all the way down, but it looks like it's in a high demand area, so it's bouncing now. It's not going to go straight down, so maybe it will do something like this. It will go higher from here. Can see it can go higher and then come back and then go higher. All right, so something like that, it's quite possible, so keep an eye on that. And let's see, gold miners recovering, still way more upside left. Newmont mine, you can see this gap is filled, another new low made, 52 weeks low, but you can see still on higher momentum on PPO, but RSI looks like momentum is fading away, slight momentum there on RSI still high, but so Newmont mine needs to really recover now. I don't know what's the news. They're selling hard. Newmont mine, biggest gold miner. Anyhow, let's quickly look at sectors. XLK, energy sector, sorry, tech sector. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Did it fill any gaps? It did fill this gap, so you can delete this. And even upper gap is filled, so you can see how nicely it fills all these gaps. And now the other targets are other gaps on the upside. So it's getting ready for that. XLE energy sector also looking all right, not bad. Oil was down, still it recovered nicely, but there's a gap here. So let's see if it wants to fill this gap before it can go higher. So I think it's most likely can from here come back down, fill this gap, then go higher. XLV healthcare, nice support line. I told you guys to buy here, and this is where it's now picking up a bit. Utility sector very weak, very weak. Now broke below. Now it's coming close to this last attempt, last support here. But you can see what happened when it goes down so fast. It can still recover that fast as well. Okay, so but now it's unfortunately below this support line. So wait for it to pick up. When it picks up, I think it's going to be pretty explosive. So just keep an eye on that. Industrials, let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like we might have filled some gaps. So yeah, we did fill this gap. Delete this and go to daily chart. Industrials, maybe it's going to fill this gap, high low and then going higher. Real estate sector trying to recover in the massive demand zone, so look to buy here. XLF financial sector also trying to recover and very close to gap fill, this yellow one, but if it recovers this yellow line, this trend line, it might as well go to fill above gaps here. All right, KRE regional bank ETF, still a little bit gap left, so let's see if it can fill this gap before it goes higher. I cannot guarantee that, but that's the most probable scenario. All right, okay guys, that's about it. Let's look at Shopify. Nothing in the middle, up one gap down. Let's see what happens, but yeah, that's about it. Let's quickly see anything else popping or anything else interesting. Alibaba, and I have to fix this. So I was looking for this gap to fill, and looks like these are filled now, so I can fix it later on. And yeah, I think let's quickly look at zones or VIX. Let's quickly look at VIX. VIX is crushing. This purple line, still this gap not filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this gap here. This gap was created on 25th of September, Monday. So I think VIX can come down, fill this gap. Tomorrow's PPO, maybe that will be bullish. And let's quickly look at our levels on just indices before we log off. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, hit the like button and it only takes 1 second to hit the like, and please share with your friends and family so everybody can make money and get benefit from this educational video. All right, and if you want to join this pre-market, I do provide updates pre-market and afternoon. Like this morning I told everybody, like, guys, this is in the neutral zone, so no need to trade. If it goes to sell zone, look to sell there, and look what happened. We sold from sell zone and we're going down. Nasdaq 100, same thing. So you can see we were in the buy zone. I gave these levels so people would have bought near buy zone, and then now we got to sell zone. So in one day, easy profits from buy zone to the sell zone, almost 2% profit. All right. So you can see levels here. If it falls below 14,517, look to buy. If it goes above 14,790, that's a good area to short. US 500, same thing. If it goes above 4316, good area to short term, because this is in a bull market, and we could expect a rally any time. Okay, and that rally can keep going higher and higher as well. So just be careful of that. And the bottom zone is 4261 and below. Dow Jones, you can see in the middle no trade zone. Above zone is 33,826 and up. Bottom zone is 33,497.9 to buy. US 200, which is IWM, very close to sell zone, 1799, let's say 1800, and now look to sell. 1772 and below, look to buy. Alright guys, that's it for today, and I wish you a happy rest of the day. Bye.